Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how to find your true inner masculine character. Well, it's Monday, and I thought I'd share with you a really good success story that I got over the last few days. This one is from a guy from the land down under, Australia. He's 23, he started following me about a year ago when his girlfriend dumped him, and like most guys, people come to me not because things are going great in their life, but because things have totally gone sideways. He said he had totally hit rock bottom. He was depressed. He was a competitive bodybuilder. He was studying to be a chef. And he just became so depressed. It was in such a dark place that he had just kind of stopped following his mission and purpose in life. And then he set about to turn things around in his life. And that's when he came across 3% Man and started implementing what he had learned from it. And he's had a lot of great things happen in the past year. So I thought a great way to start the week, because I know not everybody watching this video is having a great day. You might be at work right now going, God, I hate my life. I hate my job. I hate what I'm having to do right now. And I've had lots and lots. I've had thousands of days like that in my life. So I can relate. But we got to remember, success is a process. So no matter what you're doing right now, today, tomorrow, next week, you always got to focus on what must get done today before I go to bed. Because, again, success is a process. So I got a quote that I wrote, and then we'll go through his email, because he shares it in hopes that he can inspire other guys or girls, for that matter, that are in the same place he was a little over a year ago. Because if he can get out of it, so can you. And his success should give you courage for your own success. The quote says, when men don't feel successful, or that accomplishing their grandest goals and dreams is impossible, they lose hope and become demoralized. Without hope and optimism, taking any action to shape and change one's destiny feels pointless and like a waste of time. Success at any endeavor is long in coming. Success is a process. To reach your full potential, you must commit to the process of growing your reserve of knowledge and developing your gifts, skills, and talents. Repetition is the mother of skill. With enough time and effort, you will become so exceptional at your chosen life's work that everyone notices and opportunities find you. This is super important. I remember when I was in my, probably mid-20s, I guess it was. I was working in the construction industry down in Fort Lauderdale. This is before I went and worked for Syntex Rooney. I loved what I did. I was sharp. I was organized. I remember one of the guys I worked with came in and he came by because he was leaving the company to go work for a developer and run a project himself. It was the first time he'd ever run a big job like that. And he just came by. He's like, I remember what he said to me. I can still see it in my mind's eye like it was yesterday. He says, I never seen somebody so organized before. He just wanted to learn how I did things and then put things together. And I remember over the course of that year, I had headhunters calling me, offering me jobs, paying me more money. Obviously, I was going to have to move, but to go work for other companies. And it was just because I had become exceptional at what I did to the point where other people noticed. And that comes with time and repetitions. That's not typically, it's like somebody that becomes a successful singer. They don't just decide to become a singer and then the next day they get a recording contract. It's many years of practice and repetition and obsessing over it. I actually just watched, there was a documentary done on Leonard Skinner, and it's just amazing seeing the obsession that these guys had over music. They just loved music, and they were really passionate about it, and really passionate about becoming exceptional at it. And then obviously we know how, they had a short run in the 70s when they had all their major hits, and then unfortunately they had the plane crash where Ronnie Van Zant died and several other members of the band. But it's like those guys just became absolutely exceptional to where people just couldn't ignore them because they were so good. And that's what you want to do in whatever your chosen life's work is. So he says, Dear Coach, my name is Bob, and I'm a 23-year-old guy from Australia who's been following your work now for the last year. I have read your book, 3% Man, 15 times, and I've lost 15 plus times. He says, I've lost count, as well as Mastering Yourself one time, which is my second book. And you can read that for free also on my website. Just subscribe to the email newsletter. Especially because Mastering Yourself is a book all about self-reliance, discovering your purpose, your true calling. And I go in extensive detail over the course of my life and the ups and downs and the different seasons of my life and different professions I've had over my life. Because those things will change and evolve as you grow and you gain experience. And you got to be able to navigate from one chapter of your life to another without just totally blowing up and destroying your life. You want to do it in a nice, balanced, measured way. Always thinking about what are your next 3 or 4 steps and moves down the road. He says, I plan on reading both for the rest of my life, as your work has not only helped me in my relationships, but in finding my true inner masculine character and igniting it alive. Well, that's confidence comes from knowing what you know how to do and doing it really well. And what my books do is they give you the cheat codes to life. They give you the cheat codes between the interactions between men and women, masculine and feminine energy, if you will, because it applies gay, straight, lesbian relationships, even in trans relationships. There's always sexual polarity. Strong masculinity, strong femininity. And when they're too similar in any type of relationship, it's like you become roommates. There's no passion there. Somebody's always going to be the leader. And if you're not living, in essence, with your, like in this guy's case, his masculine character, he likes feminine women, they're going to be turned off. He says, a little background on me. Just before the pandemic hit the world, my now ex-girlfriend of mine, who was my partner of 5 years, dumped me. I had become a needy, uncentered man, slave to her, and only realized later on, after finding your work, how I literally talked her out of being in a relationship with me due to my actions. I had messed up so bad because I came from a family where stonewalling one another or screaming was the way we handled problems. And because of that environment, I had not learned the healthy tools to be strong, centered guy in a romantic relationship. Well, the good news is 3% Man will fill in that knowledge gap for you. As long as you apply it and you read it 10 to 15 times, like this guy is 15 times plus with the first book. Nevertheless, this sent me into a spiraling world of depression and hopelessness, and I thought my life was over at the time, or so I thought. I was a competitive bodybuilder, always in good shape, and studying to become a chef, to which I stopped doing both as I continued to dig my own grave and let my life be torn down after this breakup. To heal the wounds, I tried dating and sleeping around. I got with women I was interested in, or I got with women that I wasn't interested in at all or attracted to, which just made me feel worse about my situation that I was at in life. The funny thing is, even though I had no attraction to these girls, my old tendencies to become needy for their approval, like in the past, would show up in one way or another, and these girls would blow me off even though I didn't think anything of them. Yeah, how's that? How do you think that makes you feel? But at the end of the day, if you act unattractive, you're going to be perceived as unattractive because that's how you see yourself. And you're going to act congruent with how you perceive yourself to be. Doesn't matter whether the view is accurate or not. With my financial situation being at its worst, my life's purpose and passions faded away, and my constant blame of the world for where I was, I can actually remember the day I woke up and told myself, enough is enough, and I'm going to start turning my life around for the better. Everybody that's ever succeeded at an exceptional level or gone through a really difficult time, you just get to the point where it's like, that's it. Enough of this. Enough of this crappy relationship, this crappy job, enough of being overweight, enough of drinking and alcohol and drugs too much, whatever happens to be, eating too much chocolate, not doing the things I need to do, blowing my classes off, skipping school, whatever it happens to be. You just get to the point where like, this sucks. These standards suck. I want better. And you resolve to do something about it. He says, for whatever reason, I thought that meant finding a woman to make my life better. So I typed in the words, how to date modern women, and you were the first I came across. I was here on my path to rediscovering myself. It was here, my path to rediscovering myself as a man started. For I sought to find guidance on talking to women, but Corey, you taught me so much more. I became obsessed with your work. The key is obsessed. Because when you obsess over something, you love it, you're passionate about it, and you stay up day and night applying it and trying to get better. That's what it takes. Because most people aren't putting that level of effort in anything in life. And when you really focus and obsess over things, you obsess over the process of success, eventually you're going to become better. And then, like I said in the quote, opportunities find you because everybody's like, man, that guy, that girl, they're exceptional at what they do. I watched hours of your videos and started reading your book. After watching enough of your work, I really liked the fact you were more of a life coach, giving smart, thought out, and mature advice and resolutions to men and people compared to one-sided, seemingly idiotic and immature ways they teach in the red pill community, to which I had previously fallen victim to. That's why I'm not a big fan of the red pill community. There's just so much negativity. And it's like anytime I mention that, there's always guys that get butthurt in their feelings about that, defending that. But what are the solutions? I don't see many solutions. I just see a bunch of angry, unhappy people validating being angry and unhappy and pissed off at the world and saying, oh, all modern women are the same. If you act like a bitch, women will treat you like a bitch. That's a fact of life, whether you want to accept it or not. Because you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. I have yet to see one email or one comment from anybody in the red pill community who said that the red pill completely changed their life and made their life all better and their relationships with women are better and their success is better. Haven't seen a single one. That should tell you something. I started back into my chef apprenticeship and got back into working out and bodybuilding, and during the lockdown, not only finished my certificate and qualification, but got into the best shape of my life. I studied your work on finding one's passion and purpose and applied a lot of your self-help while studying 3% Man at the time, but not testing anything out until I felt I was at a spot in life that I was truly happy and content with to allow myself to give it to others. Yeah, you can't give away what you don't have for yourself. And if you're a miserable, unhappy person, and then you get into a relationship with somebody that's happy, or you start dating somebody that's happy, you're going to turn them off really quick. So you want to get to a happy place yourself, and then attract somebody who is also in a happy place. And then, because you can't give away what you don't have for yourself. And then if you're both giving on that level, your cups are always running over. Your cup runneth over. After all, you don't find someone to complete your life. You find someone to come and be a part of your already amazing life. It took a lot of rereading your book, research, and time alone in my own life to start bringing myself back into the firing line to where I felt my life was steady. Yeah, for men, especially when it comes to relationships, you got to feel like things are stable and steady, and you know where your income is coming from, and you can pay your bills consistently, and you have money left over every month. And you know, especially you young guys, no matter what you make, 20% of it should be going to investments, whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto or investing in real estate. It's just 20% comes off the top and it gets set aside for investments, and you don't touch that. You don't spend that. You only invest it. And then whatever's left over, you can use that to pay your bills. If I'd have done that when I was really young, instead of always putting it off later and later and later, I'd have been a lot more successful at the point I'm at in life than I am now. And so you young guys can take advantage of that life lesson. It's an expensive life lesson. So fast forward to post-lockdown of 2021 in my city of Australia. Once people started going out again, I started dating. I applied your advice religiously and was amazed by the results after only a few dates with different women. Well, the women are amazed because so few guys display attractive qualities. So you really can set yourself apart. Because again, most guys aren't willing to do these things. One particular woman knocked my socks off, and it took so much in me not to revert to my needy ways. It felt so strange going against everything I thought I should do, such as sharing feelings, chasing, and pretty much being a feminized pussy-ass beta male who had no emotional control as I had acted all my life. Yeah, women want you to be the calm one. Then they can lose it and they can get all emotional. Because being calm and sure of yourself, that's masculinity. It's like James Bond. You don't see him losing his shit and freaking out and getting all emotional. I mean, some of the movies they do a little bit, some of the recent ones, but calm, cool, collected, and in control. Especially guys in the military, combat situations, like you can't lose your shit. That's how you get yourself and your teammates killed. You just got to focus on the process. Put your sights on the enemy and slowly ease the trigger back. Well, I'm proud to say now that the girl who knocked my socks off is now my girlfriend, and we've been dating for 4 months at the time of this email. We're about to move into a luxurious apartment together. Damn, easy, bro. And our relationship is everything I dreamed of being an easy and effortless relationship. Well, you're still in the honeymoon period. I personally wouldn't recommend moving in after 4 months, but it's your life. If things really click, if you really got this stuff, we're going to find out. You're going to find out. Consistency is key. The two biggest things that, because I've done thousands and thousands of phone sessions over the years with guys in long-term relationships where it's always two things. One of two things or a combination of them. Either A, they're not communicating with her and making her feel heard and understood, or B, they stop dating and courting her. The courtship never ends. Women want to be in a love story, like a lifelong love story. If you're in a long-term relationship, you can't just move in together and become roommates and order pizza every weekend and sit around and watch TV. That's not what they signed up for. They want to be in a love story. They want to be romanced. If you care, you'll romance them. And if you don't care, you'll make excuses and justify doing nothing. And eventually, if you don't date and court your girlfriend, your wife, some other guy's going to come along and do that for you. Even though we pretty much live with one another and are about to move in, we still hang out, have fun, and hook up like we are just two people dating and living freely. Well, remember this, the honeymoon period tends to last for 6 to 12 months. So you're still in the honeymoon period. We have never argued, and if we have disagreements, we communicate and get right back to the good parts of life together. Though it hasn't been long, I can almost spot and judge everything from her attraction, her words, and her true intentions from the way she acts from the moment we started dating, thanks to your work. That's where 3% Man really helps. It gives you a set of skills and an intuition and ability to tell where your woman is at so you can meet her needs so she feels heard and understood, and she thinks you're the shit. She doesn't think you're shit. She thinks you are the shit. You are the man. You are her rock, her mountain in her life, her source of strength. The man who always knows what to do. No problem is too difficult for you to solve, and you solve it easily and effortlessly. Well, as far as she knows. Your stuff is a fucking gold mine, and nothing I have applied from your work has failed me. It has always done exactly what you say or had the exact desired outcome. Well, that's why I always jokingly say I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. This stuff works. It's the way women are. It's the way attraction works. It's the way masculine and feminine energy works. And that's also why it works for gay, straight relationships as well. There's always a masculine and feminine energy essence. You got to have the sexual polarity. People have to play their roles or else there's going to be problems. Along with all of this, my career as a chef has skyrocketed as I've worked my way into a fantastic sous chef role, paying me a salary well above average and more than I thought I'd be making at my age. I don't know what a SOUS chef is, but it sounds cool. I own my own personal training business on the side, and my finances are at their best, and so much so that I'm now in the process of actually buying the restaurant I work for, as it's my dream to own my own business in a restaurant. Well, that's awesome, dude. Good job. Yeah, if you love food, and you love cooking, a restaurant business is what you should be doing. I mean, how many of us watching this have gone into a restaurant and really nice place, but the food sucked, or the food was great, but the service sucked? How many times you go in a restaurant and the people just love being there and really seem to really enjoy what they do? You might have a waiter here and there, but it's pretty rare. Corey Wayne is now a part of my daily routine, whether it's listening to your podcasts, reading your books, which I endeavor to never stop studying, for as long as I am alive, or living your words of practice and applying them in my business, work, personal, and professional life. Though I am proud to say, through sheer hard work, I have built my life into something I'm proud of for the last 2 years, I take my hat off to you and give you all the credit. Well, I appreciate that, but you got to give yourself the credit because you did the work. I'm just some dude on YouTube. As I know, I had never found you, God knows where I'd be. Well, again, I give you the cheat codes of life. And I got so many decades of living in this crazy world that I found out what works and what doesn't work. And I love seeing young guys like you learn this stuff at your, man, it's like, if I'd have known what's in my books at your age, 23, man, there's so many great opportunities I would have not missed out on. Hey, but that's life. Nobody cares about your problems. I've tried searching the internet for hours trying to find like-minded life coaches such as you, and yet I haven't been able to find one. Your work I have embodied, and I feel as if no matter what storm life throws my way, I can take it on with ease after all the self-help you've given me. Feel free to share this in a video to remind men who may be at rock bottom that if it exists in life, you can have it. You can become anything you want and be the person you want to be deep down with a game plan and relentless ambition. Well, the key is ambition. You must participate in your own rescue. Ain't nobody coming to save you or fix you. You got to do that yourself. You have to be the one to take action. You got to know what you want in life, and you got to know why you want it. You got to have emotionally compelling reasons why you want something. And when you have the emotionally compelling reasons, when you're having the bad day, that's what gets you through it. That and the grind, committing to the process. Because sitting around, idle mind, idle hands, it never feels good. That's why you got to be busy being productive. Not busy being busy, but busy being productive. Things that are going to move your life forward. And your work is a cornerstone and grounding point for any man looking to do that. Thank you, Corey. Well, thanks for sharing that, and congratulations of your first steps into the 3% Club. So if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.